Alright, we are on the draw with Rug Delver. Our opponent mulliganed, so that might be relevant to our decision. This hand isn't great. I'm going to be dead honest with you. We could find a threat off of Thought Scour, so I don't hate it. We also have Dismember, which is good against a lot of decks in the meta, in my opinion. So I will keep it. But I'm not super happy to have no burn spells or threats in a hand with 3 lands. We'll just end step because we do have Shoal Pitch Scour. If that's relevant, I believe Chromatic Star is fine. I'd rather save Shoal Pitch Scour for a more relevant spell. Holding up Denial is also sweet. So we're going to pass the turn. We're playing against Tron. The egg suggests it's green X, not Eldrazi. But I mean, just earlier today we played against green-red Eldrazi Tron, so who knows. We can Shoal Pitch Leak and then Scour, or we could just Denial this. Given that I really want to draw a threat, I'm inclined to want to Thought Scour right now, because if we don't have a threat, we're not doing a lot against this deck. I'm going to pay alternative costs. That one, pitching that one, do the thing, take us to the end step so I can get a Steam Vents and cast a Thought Scour, please, and thank you, Xmage. Green-white Tron, in case nobody picked up on that. Well, we found a Delver, which is step 1. It's actually quite unfortunate that we've drawn 4 lands against green-white Tron, because green-white Tron is known for running Path to Exile as its removal spell of choice, whereas red decks flip-flop between... Wow, are we really denialing that? That's fantastic. I'm going to get a Breeding Pool, or will I? We could get a Breeding Pool off of either of these. How good's double green? We could get double green anyways, that's fine. This prevents them from knowing what we're playing for at least an extra turn, which is nice. Oh, did that decision just bite us? It didn't. We only have 3 card types in the bin. Decision did not bite us, which is nice because I like not being bitten by my decisions. So yeah, they generally run Path to Exile. Green-black Tron typically runs Fatal Push and Collective Brutality, and green-red Tron runs either a mix, a split, or one of the other of Pyroclasm and Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is better against decks like Infect. That's unfortunate because they will get Tron shortly, whereas Pyroclasm is better against the go-wide decks, generally. Probably just a Stomping Ground. Get double red. Might be relevant, who knows? So, playing out our second Delver does have a very real downside, because the opponent could O-Stone and just kill our entire board, and we would be left with just this Traverse in hand. On the other side, 3 damage a turn gives Tron so much time to kill us. So we really need to just put the pedal to the metal and get this done. There's a power plant. There is the aforementioned O-Stone, and we don't have a mana leak in hand, as sad as it is. We're going to save the Tarn for Delver Scry, which comes in handy right now. Do we shock for a Breeding Pool? We don't. Our life total isn't super relevant, but I'm not taking unnecessary damage. I'm also not casting this Hooting Mandrills right now, because it would just die to O-Stone. And why do I want to just give up an ape offering to the Oblivion Stone? That seems like an awful decision. Instead, we're going to allow them to wipe out the Delvers, and then we will Hooting Mandrills and Traverse, probably not in that order, just in case Delve screws with our stuff. Do I want to reveal Spell Snare? The information is probably not really relevant. However, if we don't, we might get an extra attack step in with these. so I'm not going to reveal it. Now we're just playing mind games. If we do reveal the snare, the opponent almost certainly wants to blow the O-Stone, and then we end up with no board. If we don't reveal the snare, maybe they don't want to blow the O-Stone. They're blowing the O-Stone, which means at least they didn't get the extra information. We're going to go to our turn, tutor something nice up. What'll it be? I don't know. Gotta look. Do we have a... We don't have a lightning bolt in the yard, so Snapcaster Mage seems pretty awful. So without that, I either want Renegade, Mandrills, Delver, or Goyf. Renegade seems awful. I don't really want to wait for Delver, but Delver does get flying, which is good against the likes of Wormcoil Engine. We could also dismember the Wormcoil when it attacks, so that they only gain 1 life. That could be super relevant. I don't know if I want to play both threats this turn, because then if they have another O-Stone, we have nothing going on. But on the other hand, they have tons of draws that put us way back, even if they don't have the O-Stone and we're playing 1 threat at a time. So if we go Delver plus Mandrills, we speed up the clock a little bit, albeit not much. How big is Tarmogoyf right now? It doesn't say. 4 card types in our yard. They have Artifact as a 5th card type, so Goyf is at 5/6. 5/6 is actually quite good, so we'll get it. And of course, we're going to play it. Goyf is a 2-turn clock, and I like that, which is just as good as Hoots plus Delver, except it has the bonus of not going all in. Of course, it's not great against Wormcoil Engine, but Wormcoil Engine puts us in an awful spot regardlessly right now. They don't know about Spell Snare. Speak of the devil, he shall appear, yada yada yada, hey look, it's Wormcoil. Not so much we can do against that, because it's going to wall us but good. I do believe we're going to play out our Mandrills at this point, because we basically just need to find a combat trick and kill them. It's really not necessary to see this entire graveyard at once. Let's trim that. Can't interact with Chromatic Sphere. They go to our turn. We draw a Thought Scour, which we almost certainly want to play. Now we're going to stretch out the graveyard because it is relevant. So if we just go Mandrills for 1 mana, we have Dismember, Spell Snare, Thought Scour up. But we may as well Thought Scour now, as long as playing Thought Scour is in the plan, and this gives us more options. Stubborn Denial makes us Oblivion Stone proof, which is nice. So we're going to play the Mandrills for 1 mana, of course. Delve some, Shoal, 2 lands, Thought Scour, another land. Our graveyard is really big. That's good, we don't need to attack. No need to do that. They crack that, that's fine. If they find an Ulamog, we're basically dead. Karn we can Denial, which is nice. O-Stone we Denial. If they don't have a subsequent Wormcoil Engine, that's awesome. If they have a subsequent Wormcoil Engine, we're screwed. However, even if we don't dismember this, if they have a subsequent Wormcoil Engine, we're super duper screwed. So Wormcoil basically means game over. Especially if we don't dismember this. So cancel that skip. No need to block. Is there any merit to not dismembering? They go to 16 as opposed to 11. Dismember puts us down to 10, and then we'll go to 9. It'd be nice if we had a way to just bounce this, but we don't. So we're going to mitigate our losses and just make things slightly better for us. Please don't have a Wormcoil Engine. Please? Please. I said please. You can't do it now. I said please. That's it. It's done. How can you play Worm Coil Engine after I said please? Naturally, our opponent can't hear us. Ugin! It's Ugin! Sorry about that. I apologize to any ears I may have just harmed. I'm really excited to see something I can denial. Because that puts us in the game. That puts us in the game. Oh my lord, am I excited. If we can Grogoyf or draw a burn spell, Hoots doesn't do it. We're going to knock them down to 1, of course. Do I cast Hooting Mandrills? It means we get screwed by O-Stone. Do I care about that? We also get screwed by subsequent Ugin. If they cast an Ugin, we are basically screwed regardlessly, because we take 6 and they go upstairs, and the fact that Ugin is just extraordinarily good. So I'm going to play out this Mandrills so that we have as much power on board as possible. We're also going to delve in such a way that Snapcaster Mage and Traverse for Snapcaster Mage are good outs. Go to end step. They don't know what the Spell Snare is. We didn't reveal it to them. That's hidden information that is very relevant. Can we fade a draw step? This is so exciting. That's a world breaker. We probably can't fade the draw step. Snap Bolt is still online. Okay. Okay. They took out a red source. That's fine. They can Ghost Quarter the other red source. Hopefully they don't know we don't play a basic mountain. That'd be nice. They didn't attack, which means we shouldn't attack. That's a bolt. We cast this, right? We cast this right now. Of course we cast this right now. Who even asks a question like that? Of course we want to get under the Ghost Quarter. Oh yeah. That was sweet. Dismembering Worm Coil Engine. That got us there. We still legit might side out Dismember though. So that was actual Green X Tron. Green-White to be specific. How does one board against Green-White Tron? We bring in the basic against most Tron decks, so that's fine. Bringing it in against a Tron deck that runs Path to Exile seems even better. Yeah, I'm sorting the sideboard again. May as well while I talk about stuff. Things that blow up artifacts are good. I like Huntmaster slightly more in this matchup than I do the other Tron decks because they do run Path to Exile. And as opposed to the Eldrazi Tron deck that we played against previously, we aren't quite as worried about the super fatties. Renegade seems awful. I might not cut one Mandrills, but they almost certainly have Rest in Peace in their deck. Another good reason to cut one of the Snapcaster Mages, even though I would do it anyways. Blood Moon, please, nice to see you. Come on in, the water's fine. Slide Tarfire over. We're also going to cut a number of Traverse, both for the Rest in Peace reason and for other reasons. Do I want Vapor Snag? I probably do, because Worm Coil Engine and World Breaker suggest that they want to stabilize using creatures. That's going to take Dismember's slot. Simic Charm still seems good. Spell Snare is definitely staying in because of Rest in Peace and Sylvan Scrying, the likes of those. Can I support Disrupting Shoal? We didn't board out many blue cards. We have enough 2s to make me happy, although I kind of want to board out a Mana Leak. Let's get rid of a Forked Bolt. If we board out a Lightning Bolt, we can probably keep this Disrupting Shoal. Let's count. 1 Snapcaster, 3 Leaks, 1 Simic Charm, 5 non-shoals that pitch for 2, 4 Delvers, 4 Thought Scours, 3 Stubborn Denials, that's 11, 12, 13, 17. Disrupting Shoal looks fine here. The question is, do I want all the Thought Scours? I probably board out 1 perfectly happily. I might want to board out a second, but I don't actually know. I want Thought Scour against Tron. Tron is exactly where you want Thought Scour. We'll board out a Mana Leak. Disrupting Shoal gets ever so slightly worse, but not really by much. Tron, you like to treat as a combo deck. This is actually quite tempting because we have Serum Visions and they have Path to Exile, which means we can actually play a turn 2 Goyf with some amount of reliability, but I think it's a little slow and reliant on Serum Vision, so we're going to mulligan. We'll keep this one. Bottom Mana Leak. Go to us. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Second land means we probably just play a Misty to get the island, just in case I do want to Blood Moon them. And then we go for Denial if they play something, Thought Scour if they don't. Whew, I would really like to have Mandrills with Denial up. They are just going for the map activation, it seems, so I'm going to get a basic island. Cast that Thought Scour. We drew a Huntmaster, which notably is not great, but it's also not the worst. Hooting Mandrills is nice against Rest in Peace because you can sort of get under it. Let's grab a Stomping Ground to have all of our colors. Cast this little guy. Delve these. And go to our turn. They don't have Tron right away. We can counter Path to Exile. We can counter Oblivion Stone. We can counter a lot of things. I don't know why they didn't crack this map. They might ask us for a rollback. They didn't. I'm confused. That's an O-Stone. Do we counter it? We probably counter it. It's no longer an O-Stone. I'm going to write that down. So I'm going to grab the notepad on my bookshelf. We're not going to do anything. Blue source. Upkeep, Path to Exile. We let it happen. We get a Stubborn. We get a basic island, which isn't great. We counter it. Countering is probably right. I think I want to use the Mana Leak because it's just likely to be worse. Of course, there is the fact that Mana Leak counters Wormcoil Engine, which Stubborn Denial doesn't. But, I mean, are we really playing around Wormcoil Engine when the opponent has these lands? Let's grab a pen and jot down O-Stone. O-Stone has been jotted down. We may as well take any information the opponent gives us. That's an Urza's Mine. They might have Tron soon, but they don't have it yet. We can get rid of that. Thank you very much. That's the O-Stone. Oh, and a Chromatic Sphere. That's good against Blood Moon. Basic Island makes me want to start casting Serum Visions. I will want a Tarmogoyf. The thing is, I will want to play it before we play Blood Moon. I don't think I want this Lightning Bolt. I do think I want the Goyf. Do I want to hold up Stubborn Denial? If they use O-Stone, they have to tap out, which isn't bad. It's not bad. Not bad at all. It's either we use Denial or we use Visions to draw the Goyf. I think I want to hold up Denial. Knock the opponent down to 12. We may or may not end up bolting them at our leisure. I almost certainly bolt the opponent at our leisure. Lightning Bolt is basically always going to the face in this matchup. They almost certainly top-decked that Urza's Mine just now. Let's put them down to 9. Is there an artifact in the bin? There is, which is unfortunate because I was hoping O-Stone would turn on Ferocious, but it did not. Which means I actually don't want to hold up Stubborn Denial. I don't know why they cracked that. It will probably come back to bite them if/when we go for the Blood Moon, which I will be doing right now because they no longer have O-Stone on. Yep. However, that means we can't play Goyf, and right now Denial's on. So killing Mandrills actually benefited us in a roundabout way. I wasn't paying attention to the lack of creature when I was looking at artifacts. Countering that turns off Tron. I kind of want to counter it. I don't want them to have Tron. I also don't want them to fetch out of basic planes. These are a few of my favorite things. Having the opponent not let their... Sorry, disrupting the opponent's deck such that it doesn't do what it was designed to do. Clocking, countering spells, disrupting mana. Few of my favorite things. As the Sound of Music portrayed. Ooh, that's sweet. Chump blockers for days and a lot of life. We're in game 1, right? No, we're in game 2. We bolted our opponent last game. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to attack and slam Blood Moon. Timely seems really good. We may as well start whittling through the tokens. Blood Moon seems fine here, given that we cut ourselves off of green, but we cut them off of white. Unless, of course, they use a land searching card that Tron has plenty of to find a basic plains. They can also cast Wormcoil here. O-Stone is also relevant because they can play it, crack it on the next turn, but that's fine too. They probably get in for 1. They didn't get in for 1, which I find a little weird. I can't blow up that O-Stone because I don't have a green source, and even if Blood Moon wasn't here, we couldn't blow it up. So, let's attack. I don't believe they crack O-Stone on this turn cycle. They're probably going to do it on our next turn. We draw into another land, which means we Revelry sooner, we Hunt Master sooner. I would like Delver. I'm not super high on Shoal, even though it would flip Delver right away. But because of the flipping Delver, I think it's not bad to keep. Let's play this Mountain and pass the turn. The opponent playing O-Stone suggests to me that they don't have a big fat fatty in hand. Although maybe they want to use the O-Stone to get rid of the Blood Moon as well. That's possible. I'm just thinking Wormcoil Engine does a lot to stall my development. Or rather, my development of reducing the opponent's life total, because I'm not really going out of my way to build up a massive board here. Thragtusk seems fine. It also means the opponent probably isn't cracking that O-Stone right away. I'm not super happy to play this Delver because once they crack the O-Stone, Thragtusk is going to do tons of work. But if we leave this board alone, then we're in a losing position regardlessly. So we may as well force their hand. I do think I attack with the Goyf. They'll probably block with the Soldier, get in for 5 with Thragtusk before breaking the board up. But our life total isn't the most relevant thing here, so that seems fine. If they don't decide to crack the O-Stone, we could theoretically win the race, but that requires us to reveal the Disrupting Shoal, which I'm pretty fine with, I think. Yep. Reveal. Do we actually win this race? The opponent takes 7 a turn, we take 5 a turn. We're hitting them first, so we do win the race. We could also just go for 3 with the Aberration, have Goyf try to disincentivize Thragtusk, but I think I want to accelerate this game, because if the game goes long, we lose. So I would very much like to inspire the fear of clock, I guess, in our opponent to make them crack the O-Stone, give up their board advantage, and then allow me to slam Huntmaster. I believe I want to fetch shock here to get well, actually, no. I was thinking I want another green source, but any red source will do. So I could even just get a mountain to turn on Revelry. But maybe I don't want to do that to play around Ghost Quarter. Let's get Breeding Pool. But then we can't Bolt, Snap, Bolt. Decisions. I think I'd rather have the second green source. We're going down to 8, but that's fine because we're going back up to 10. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have anything good. Because we don't have much going on. That's a path. Can't shoal it. Basic Forest. We can bounce the token back to their hand to win this race. But our opponent is drawing so much better than we are. Well, they don't have Tron yet, which is actually almost funny. Mandrills. That's how we win races. We draw our threats. Have I drawn well this game? I wasn't really paying attention, but Mandrills is a really good top deck. I did cast 2 Serum Visions, so I guess you would expect me to draw at least somewhat well. Ooh, Blessed Alliance. We can counter that. Okay, here's the thing. Xmage previously had a bug where if you Disrupting Shoal a Blessed Alliance, this is mode 3, they're going to make me sack it. If you Disrupting Shoal a Blessed Alliance that was escalated, it confuses the CMC. But I actually don't really mind this. That's fine, just the one mode's okay. If they were gaining life, I probably am a lot more inclined to deal with it. As is, I think I just play this little dude here. Delving doesn't seem like much of a concern. Let's leave at least 4 card types, including Lightning Bolt. Take out a sorcery on instant. 2 creatures, and then either the enchantment or the land. Let's get rid of the land. I suppose I could have gotten rid of Delver, but Snap Denial... So, get rid of Delver. Gotten rid of Denial, but Snap Denial isn't exactly a slouch. Alright. World Breaker does bad things to our only red source, which is relevant. We're also playing this game quite slowly with only 9 minutes left on the clock, but that's probably okay. Serum Visions is a very good pickup. Our opponent didn't cast anything. You guys see that in the chat, right? My towers are sided out, right? Do I mess up our Scry into Blood Moon so that we can traverse here? We have 2 green sources, so we could actually traverse out a 1-mana threat, play that threat, and play Blood Moon. So that seems pretty good. I'm not sure I want to attack. Maybe I attack and just Simic Charm if they want to race. Of course, there's also the fact that we can hold up Disrupting Shoal, and the Beast token isn't super scary, but I mean it's not scary. They don't want to race us, which is really interesting. Do they have any sort of damage? No. I guess they just want to slow down the game. Ghost Quarter is a pretty good draw because that can mess up our forest. If we decide to go for the Blood Moon, they can also get themselves a white source. So I'm not going to Blood Moon here. Let's get in. Blood Moon also literally only cuts them off of white in this scenario. Xmage is stalling just slightly, so we're going to launch another client to get it to do stuff. Come on, Xmage. Come on. So I don't think I want to Blood Moon, given that they can either get themselves their white source, which is literally all Blood Moon does here, or they can take out our forest, which is also quite bad for us. Xmage caught on in a new window, so I'm going to close this one, catch you guys up over there. We'll disconnect over here. Boom. OBS transferred over. How nice. So I don't think we Blood Moon now that they have a Ghost Quarter. We do want to Traverse, though, and Traverse is live. Unfortunately, opening a new window lost our witty comment from our opponent about sideboarding out the towers, but hey, we have to cut our losses somewhere. I actually think I might get a Huntmaster. Goyf is a 5/6, which makes it a really fast clock, but the we don't have any more Huntmasters in the deck. That's fine. We only board in one. Goyf it is. Goyf's big. We can play Goyf and hold up Simic Charm, which seems nice, because that lets us effectively counter Path to Exile. We could also use Simic Charm to bounce a Wormcoil Engine should they draw it. So that's nice. We're just waiting on our opponent here. Xmage isn't screwing up again, so that's fine. We just have to be a little patient. Maybe they're thinking about stuff. Who knows? Maybe they're just AFK. There we go. So if they do go for Wormcoil, we could Simic Charm and eventually Revelry it. Hey! They got there. How nice for them. It's awful for us, but it's quite nice for them. Looks like we're going to be going to Game 3. Now, we can bounce a creature here, which means we might actually have some play to Ugin. If we don't bounce it, then we're super dead. I think I want to bounce Goyf, although Mandrills is a little more resistant to Ugin. It's a +2, so then they just need to stall Goyf for a turn. I think I want to save the Mandrills. Let Goyf bite the dust. Now we can get another red source should the need arise. So that's nice. Revelry doesn't destroy Planeswalkers, but if they had an artifact we could target, we could redirect the damage and take out Ugin, which would be nice. As is, we have a fetch here, so I think I'm just going to delve away everything except for 3 cards. Let's undelve everything so we know exactly what we're delving. What did I click? There we go. So Blood Moon, Visions, Traverse, Charm, Denial, leaves 3 cards in the bin. We can always crack this land if we need to turn on Traverse. Now, if we hold up Disrupting Shoal, we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can counter a 3 CMC spell. So basically, Shoal is just playing around Path right now. I might want to slam Blood Moon here. There's no relevant land that Tarn gets, so I believe we're just going to do this. If they want a Ghost Quarter, that's fine. They don't want a Ghost Quarter. Alright. So now we need to fade some certain draws and take out Ugin. and then take them out. They're bolting us, which makes not cracking this land until we absolutely need to quite appealing. Hopefully they just have nothing. Oh, they don't have anything yet. We don't need that land, so I don't think we do anything with it. Let's kill Ugin. We can shoal if they have a way to get rid of mandrills. Does Ugin die? How exciting this game has been. This entire match has been just edge of my seat stuff. 4-turn clock. That's a long time for them to draw something good. I'm not going to counter the sphere because if they play any relevant white spell, we can just counter that. We're also not going to target the sphere with Revelry because they can crack it in response. They're drawing a card on... Oh, it's an upkeep path. That makes sense. Alright, shoal. X is 1. Yep. Blue, blue, red. Let's get rid of that. We don't have blue mana right now, which is pretty relevant, but at least we have a 4/4. Ooh, and a lightning bolt. That trims precisely 1 turn off the clock. Oh yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Fun magic. That's a Wormcoil engine. We can deal with that. We can deal with that. It's going to be very difficult, but we can. Now, I believe we attack with the mandrills. If they block, we blow up the Wormcoil, and then we'll end up having to bolt the Death Touch one. I'm just trying to think about this. If we do nothing, they might not want to attack. They almost certainly attack, right? So do I let them attack? If we attack them, and then we blow up the Wormcoil, they take 6, they go to 5, Bolt's not quite lethal. We need to use Bolt to survive because they will have 6 power on the table ready to swing on their turn. If we don't attack, we hope that they attack us with the Wormcoil. We blow it up, we attack them, Bolt the Death Toucher. They only take 3 off of Revelry plus us attacking them, but then they only have their 3/3 lifelink. I think that's good. I think I want to wait for them to do something. I want to wait for them to attack. That way, we're less likely to get super blown out. Of course, if we draw another burn spell, I probably just want to go for the throat. Let's be very cautious of our skips. Okay, so we blow this up. Green, red. They take 2. Death trigger. They get some stuff. Oh my lord. Wow. Holy. What? Now we have to block. Revelry gets fizzled. This is crazy. Okay, we also have to play really quickly. Alright, we have, what, 5 minutes? Once that arrow goes away, we will be able to see. That actually might say 4 minutes. Not even 3 minutes. Scour, us. I just want to see if we're dead. We're dead. Scoop. Yep. We have 3 minutes to beat green-white Tron. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, let's get into it. Now this is exciting. Fortunately, we're not playing a control deck that actively wants to get to the late game. So if we can't beat them in 3 minutes, it's not that we lose anyways, it's that we're not greatly positioned. We have a turn 1 Delver, and I think we need that to win in 3 minutes. So I'm going to keep this hand, even though it's not actually great. We'll get a Steam Vents. And the To Your Turn button is going to be our best friend. Bolt, reveal it. Do I want it or do I want a Thought Scour? I'll keep it. Close these windows. Get in for 3. Pass to them. It's unfortunate that now we have to use the end step, but as long as we're quick with these duns, we should be okay. Bolt, you. Visions. It's debatable that we should have actually gone for Holy Bolt. Gone for Thought Scour there. Do they have natural Tron? After not drawing Tower for so many turns, they kind of deserve to have natural Tron. Let's play a land. Get in there. And step. Delver should have one last attack left in it until O-Stone goes off. Unless they hit a Tron land or stall out. That would cause them to do it earlier or later. Sphere is fine. Not mana leaking that. Get a breeding pool. Thought Scour us. I said breeding pool. Xmage, don't fail me. We have a bit under a minute. Holding up Lightning Bolt, of course, because I want to shoot them in the face. Ooh, Nature's Claim. Can't counter that. They're going to gain 4. Well, now we could counter it. Thanks for that, game. I kid, of course. I am not salty in the least at that. I believe we just attack and pass the turn. Which is kind of upsetting because Delver just about hit its expiry date, and they're still at 6. A minute, 20 seconds on the clock. Nothing to do. O-Stone now is odd, but that's okay. Yep. Let's Visions. We drew a land. We want to bottom these. Play the land just in case we want it now. Go. A minute 07. Opponent has 6 mana. Mana leak looks really good. Can't leak that. Guys, we can't leak that. I'm pretty sure we're just going to lose. Unless we draw 2 bolts or 2 Snapcaster Mages. That is an out. Let's get a basic forest here to play around Blood Moon. However, we could play around Bolt Snap Bolt instead. Nature's Claim again? We could counter that. Do we counter that? I actually don't want them to have O-Stone, so that's fine. Oh, we can. Well, I mean, we could Shoal Pitch. Bolt Snap Bolt's what we're going to play around. Stomping Ground. Screw these Blood Moons. We don't need them. We're too good for Blood Moon. 4 card types. Traverse. Delver or Goyf? We still have counter spells up, so I think it's actually Mandrills. Oh, my lord, they're at 10. Goyf is big. I chose Goyf because 5/6. Just in case anyone's wondering. We have 30 seconds on the clock. Please don't have Wormcoil Engine, sir. Expedition Map, that's fine. We actually want to show that, though. That one. Pitch, Spell Snare. Denial's better. No longer have spells up. Go to us. Okay. 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 Alright. Alright. Play the island. 17 seconds. Oh my lord. This is awful. This is the single worst thing ever. We need to click done so fast. If Xmage lags at all, we lose. This is like that game we played against. I don't remember the deck. I think it was Obzon Company or it was the 4-color Company deck where we ended up beating them with mere seconds because we top-decked Bolt. 7 seconds. All attack. Done. Done. Blessed Alliance. Okay. Okay. Denial. That. Blue. Done. We timed out. That's fantastic. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. We did basically win that game though. So I'm happy with that. If they had another spell, we mana leak it. That's a win for us. That just means I need to probably play a little faster while still paying attention to stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video against Green-White Tron. Thanks for watching very much. And I may or may not play another, but I'll still see you in the next one whenever that is.